Hi everyone, I'm Charissa.Willow with Charissa.Willow Mixed Media Art. In this video, I'm going to show how I made this art piece entitled Strength. This is a vulnerable piece for me, much more personal than previous pieces I have put on my channel. For this mixed media piece, I used quite a variety of different supplies. I used a variety of acrylic paints, some makeup sponges, some small and large paintbrushes, clear gesso, some matte Mod Podge, some workable fixative, some charcoal pencils and some watercolor pencils, black VersaFine ink, vinyl letters, water-soluble wax pastels, quite a variety of acrylic paint pens. Some of my inspiration came from the books Art Journal Freedom by Dana Wakley and Beautiful Faces by Jane Davenport. I used an inexpensive watercolor set and a few stencils from my stencil stash. This is my inspiration photo that I pulled from my friend's Instagram video of the second protest. I took a lot of inspiration from this book Art Journal Freedom by Dana Wakley. I really like how she uses her own writing as part of the background in her designs. This sketch is my basic vision for this project, and then I did a dump journal of all my feelings regarding this situation. I drew inspiration from the book Beautiful Faces by Jane Davenport to create the sketch for my main focal point. Here I have the basic buildings and forms sketched out on my canvas, and I begin filling in the forms using acrylic paint with a makeup sponge. In this video, this process is sped up by 10 times. I did include the entire acrylic paint process because this was my favorite part of the project and I really began to see my vision come to life. As I said at the beginning of my video, this is a much more vulnerable project than I have shared previously on my channel. I used this project as an outlet for all my thoughts and feelings about what is going on right now in my state. I've had a lot of fear and a lot of heartache and a lot of tears shed over the way I feel about these things, and my dump journal was just a way to get all those thoughts and feelings out. I hope that this piece will inspire others. Because I don't feel comfortable sharing my personal thoughts and feelings in a public format, I hope that my art piece will speak for me. Next, I come in with a flat, wide brush to paint in the sky. For the buildings, I used some runoff paper and a few gel plate prints from my stash. I carefully trace, cut, and arrange these until they look the way I want them to. Next, I decoupage them onto my canvas using matte Mod Podge. I cut out my sketch from my sketchbook and I attach it to my canvas as well. Next, I cover the entire canvas with clear gesso. I next come in with a black acrylic paint pen to outline my buildings. I feel like the buildings on the end don't quite blend the way I want them to, so I come in with the other gel print and cover up just this little piece, which makes it feel to me more cohesive and more like my inspiration picture. I again come in with some clear gesso to cover up what I have just decoupaged onto the canvas. There is a small part of the sky that is not filled in, so I fill that in quickly, along with some of the figures that didn't quite go all the way to the papers. Next, I come in with some acrylic paint to color in my sketch and help her blend into the background. I had trouble with my video, so I was not able to show this part, but I used vinyl letters, black VersaFine ink, and a sponge dauber. I placed the vinyl letters on the canvas and sponged over them using the black ink and a dauber to create the Twin Cities area codes. Then I came in with an acrylic paint pen and did the rest of the area codes for the state. Now I come in with a white acrylic paint pen and I begin my journaling across my canvas. I cover most of the canvas with the thoughts and feelings that I had put in my dump journal. Now I come in with a fan brush and begin to create the hood of the girl's jacket. I start by building up layers of white before coming in over it with a wider bristle fan brush covered in black paint to make some feathery strokes. I again come in with a makeup sponge to add some color to her coat and whiten up some of the areas which will be my signs. I continue to use acrylic paint in various forms to add more details to the girl. To create her skin tones, I come in with some watercolor. Off camera, I used a combination of acrylic paint and watercolor to make her cheeks more rosy. Then I come in with acrylic paint pens and add details to her hair. Also off camera, I added some dictionary definitions for the words knowledge, hope, precious, future, and miracle. After decoupaging them to my canvas, I came back in with acrylic paint to help them blend into the background. I printed out the words I wanted for the signs, and I use a glue stick to attach them to my project. I come in with acrylic paint pen to outline the signs. First, I write the word strength with a graphite pencil, and then I come over it with a black water-soluble wax pastel. I now come over the pastel with water to kind of activate it. I feel like this gives it a look that is in between crayon and watercolor. I like this effect. When I move my canvas, I realized that some of the words for a sign were not glued down, so I glue them down now. I feel like the word strength did not come off the canvas enough, so I added some acrylic paint pens to brighten it up. I felt like the piece was a little unbalanced, so I added some white stenciling to the corner and bottom. The painting then sat like this for about a week and a half. I didn't think it was finished, but I didn't know what else it needed. Then, while I was watching a sunset, I saw a bird fly across the sky, and I thought that's what it needs. One little bird flying across the sky. I used a makeup sponge and acrylic paint to stencil the bird. I made a mistake, so I used water on a watercolor brush to remove the acrylic paint. I then just painted that part of the bird by hand. After this dried, I used a white acrylic paint pen to add highlights to the bird's feathers to make it look like the sun was reflecting off of them. I came in one more time with black acrylic paint to clean up the lines. Here are some close-ups of the finished project. I hope this project will inspire you to feel some strength in a time that can be scary and confusing. Please like and subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram at Charissa.Willow or on Facebook at Charissa.Willow Mixed Media Art. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and have a great day.